This is from section 12.5, which is using recursive rules with sequences. And remind yourself that a recursive rule is always written in terms of the previous term or terms. So an a sub n minus 1 will always be used, and that implies that you go to the previous term. So if you take a look at this pattern, I'll give you a second and pause the video and see if you can figure out what the pattern is. But it's going 3, 5, 2, negative 3, negative 5. So from 3 to 5, you're adding 2. And then from 5 to 2, you're subtracting 3. And then from 2 to negative 3, you're subtracting 5. So there doesn't seem to be a pattern in that sense. If you look at the 5 and the 3, notice that 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. So each term minus its previous equals the next term. So 2 minus 5 gives us negative 3. Negative 3 minus 2 gives you negative 5. If you needed the next term, you know that negative 5 minus negative 3, oops, I need to underline that, negative 5 minus a negative 3 would be negative 2. So you get the idea. So basically the pattern is you're taking each term minus its previous to get the term that follows it. So to get to the first term, and I'll highlight it here in a different color, but to get to 2, I need to take its previous term minus its previous term. So to write that out, I'm going to say a sub n, and in this case a sub n would be my third term that I'm talking about, would be its previous term minus its previous term, or 2 terms previous of it. So again, if this is my third term, I'm going to take my second term minus my first term, and that's going to get me that term. Also remind yourself with recursive sequences you have to list any terms that are needed to get you started. Well, obviously if I'm starting with the third term, I would have to let you know that the first term is 3 and the second term is 5. Otherwise you don't have enough information to get that sequence going. So there is your recursive sequence.